What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Savannah, and for those of you that are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Normally, we dive into a lot of Planet Zoo and do speed builds and things like that, but we are back in Sims 4 today, and I'm very excited about this one. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, Spanish-style home that was heavily inspired by the brand new kit that just released, the Courtyard Oasis kit. And I say just released, but as per usual, I'm a little bit behind. So it came out, I believe, a week or so ago now. Don't quote me on that because I don't have the exact date right in front of me. But when that pack came out, I saw a lot of feedback for saying that the pack was super detailed, very beautiful objects, build by items are wonderfully detailed. And I don't disagree with that. I think this is a really well put together pack with a lot of really good pieces in it. But I saw a lot of people saying like, wow, it's so specialized to a certain aesthetic, a certain style, that how are we ever going to use this outside of building like Moroccan style architecture and Moroccan style homes? So that was really the driving inspiration, I guess, for this house here. I've actually been wanting to build a Spanish style home for quite a while now, and I've been doing some searches on Pinterest, searches on Google, trying to build up my inspiration library with photos and things like that, because it's not a style that I personally am super familiar with, but it's a style that I really love. Like, as much as this does not match the personal aesthetic of my home, I would absolutely live in a house like this. So my point being is that I wanted to show you how you could take bits and pieces from the Courtyard Oasis pack and kind of integrate them into what we already have in the game. Now, I will let you know, I do have the majority of the packs, the game packs, the expansion packs, and the kits. So I do use some build by items from other packs. There's a lot of jungle adventure in this build. There's some get together as well as eco lifestyle, I believe. It's probably a few items here and there from other packs. And as we go through, I'll try to point them out. But jungle adventure actually goes really, really well with this pack, with a lot of like the Spanish style, like that fountain in the front little courtyard area there. That's a jungle adventure. The little planters right in front of the front door, those are jungle adventure. The pots are jungle adventure. So far, most of this is jungle adventure stuff. But I do utilize some of the stuff from the new Courtyard pack, like some of the tile I do put up on the front of the house there. But first and foremost, we are focusing on the outside of the house. Exteriors are probably my favorite part of building Sims houses, and in fact, so much so that I think I have like 4 or 5 unfinished Sims projects right now, because I've started on the exterior, and then once I move inside, I just kind of lose motivation. I don't know what it is. It's probably just because I am still, even though it's been weeks and months since I've gotten back into building in Sims 4, I'm still learning the pieces, and I'm just not as comfortable with what is available in the game. And so when we get to inside, I like go back and forth on colors and layout, and I struggle with the inside. But the outside I have a lot of fun with. So that's kind of why we're focusing on the outside first before we jump inside. So I did want to make sure that this had like a little front courtyard area, and I end up changing that little gate for the one that matches that fence later on down the line. But making sure it has like a little front courtyard, because that's kind of a staple in, Spanish style homes. And using the kit, the Courtyard Oasis, I did kind of want to add like a little front patio, little courtyard area in the front. Although nothing on that patio right now is from the new Courtyard kit. It's all jungle adventure. But that's okay. Once we go inside, once we go out into the backyard area, we do use some of it from the kit. But really just kind of trying to get the idea of the style I want to go with by doing the exterior first. We do put down some preliminary landscaping. I want to call it foliage because I'm so used to building in Planet Zoo, so like foliage, trees, bushes, but we are in house mode now. We are calling it landscaping. So putting in a little bit of landscaping first. We do go back and add quite a bit more and just kind of flesh it out, make it look a little bit nicer, but just getting like the basics of what I wanted to this, the outside of this house to look like. Now, Moving inside, I struggled really hard with the layout. Does anybody else really have a hard time with the layouts of Sims builds, of house builds? Because I do the exterior, right? I make it look all nice and pretty, and then I go inside and I'm like, well, crap. I should have pre-planned. I should have thought about where things need to go and how the shape of the house is. But no, I don't think about any of that. I just think about the front part of the house and how it looks from the curb. But I need to remember to think about the fact that I actually have to put rooms and make it a functional household on the inside. So I struggled really hard with the layout, primarily where I was going to put a downstairs bathroom. So down below, you saw me kind of section off that section just to the left of the front door when you come in. That ends up being an office, and then I knew I wanted the kitchen towards the back of the house, and I knew I wanted the living room towards the front of the house. But with it being 2 bedrooms upstairs, I really wanted to make sure there was a bedroom downstairs, because I'll let you know, my idea for this house is that it is a couple with 1 teenage daughter, and that's who's going to live in this house. So I wanted to make sure that the teenage daughter and the parents aren't having to share 1 upstairs bathroom, because I mean, I'm not a parent, but I wouldn't want to share a bathroom with my parents, especially not when I was growing up. So I wanted to make sure that there were 2 bathrooms in this house. Now, and also if, you know, they have guests over, because this house is built for entertaining. It's got that beautiful backyard. You can see we've already put the pool in, big open kitchen, so lots of room for entertaining in this house. So I imagine these Sims being very sociable Sims, very outgoing, very friendly. Maybe they're friends with a lot of their neighbors, and they like to have pool parties. You know, the teenage daughter can have her friends over, hang out by the pool in the backyard, stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure there was lots of room for that, and that there was a downstairs bathroom for guests to use, so they weren't constantly having to go upstairs. So I ended up expanding the back of the house and squeezing that in, as you saw. So that solved that. And then from there on out, it was pretty easy as far as, you know, once the layout was done, I kind of knew what was going to go where. My next big struggle was the kitchen. So you're gonna see me place down lots of different cabinets, switch the color swatches on a lot of different cabinets, switch out the cabinets, go back and forth, and trying just to get the style right. I kept pulling up reference pictures from Pinterest, primarily from these beautiful, beautiful Spanish style kitchens with these wonderful tiles, but none of the cabinets really have the wood tone that I was looking for. A lot of these Spanish style homes that I was looking at have these like old rustic looking counters, and the what are they? The last kit that we got, the country kitchen kit, those counters could kind of work, but there wasn't like a dark wood swatch like I was really hoping for. So you'll see me, I mean, right now they're one color, they're gonna switch to another in just a second, and eventually I end up on using kind of a lighter wood with a darker countertop, like a dark red countertop. Although watching this now, and I hate this, I hate when I watch things back and then I go, what, I really liked that. I shouldn't have changed it after all. You know, you start second guessing yourself. I am happy with how the build came out, but looking at it now, I kind of wish I would have kept those blue countertops, because especially once we put these windows in and we start getting the kind of the layout of the kitchen nailed down, I think the blue countertops actually do look really nice. That was because I was looking at another reference picture that had blue countertops, so that's what I was trying to incorporate there. But we end up using these same counters, and the layout that we have now is the one that stays, but I end up changing the color swatch on these counters to like the light wood with like the red countertops, and going with that. I did end up putting like a little desk area over just to the left-hand side, just a little space to like throw down mail or your keys, or I don't know, something to that effect over there in the corner. They do have like a full office, like study, so I didn't end up putting like a computer there, but maybe somewhere that the daughter does some homework, or I don't know, just another little desk area. I thought it was cute. Again, I saw it in a reference picture, so that I wanted to replicate that. I thought about putting some window coverings on, and you can see me kind of try a bunch, but overall I really wanted to show off those arches at the top of the windows, because one thing when I was looking at reference pictures and looking at Spanish style homes is lots of like arched windows and things are pretty common in those types of builds, so I wanted to keep those there. And then just lots of windows in general. I love the like French door style, like front door and back door that I ended up using using basically for every door into the house. The front door, the back door, and then the 2 upstairs little balconies, 3 upstairs little balconies actually, are all those French door style doors, and I just love them. But moving on to the living room, this is where I start to bring in some of the Courtyard Oasis stuff. So you can see that couch that we use is the brand new couch from Courtyard Oasis. I love how intricate it is, and it has the color swatch that matches the rest of these little chairs and the coffee table that I'm using. I don't remember where that coffee table is from, but I'm pretty sure the TV stand is Jungle Adventure again. I really wanted to use the new plant that came in the kit in the corner there because it's such big leaves, nice bright green. I just absolutely love it. But when I was sizing it down, it was messing with the lighting and it was really bothering me because it was making the corner really dark. So I ended up switching it out for that Jungle Adventure plant and then just hanging a couple lights in the corner. And we use that the Courtyard Oasis plant all over the place, so don't worry, it comes back. It's in almost every other room of the house except for the living room because I absolutely love that plant. I do find that I have to size it down when I use it inside though, because it's fairly large. It's very large. So when we use it outside, I don't necessarily have to size it down, but when it's inside, it just looks massive. And so for a house like this that doesn't have high ceilings, it just has normal height walls and things like that, it really looked way too big. So I ended up sizing it down in all the rooms that we use it in. But there you go. There it is again in the study. So this is the little study. I didn't do a whole lot of detailing and clutter. I honestly could have done a whole lot more. However, I did download the red shelf mod. I'm forgetting exactly what it's called, but I couldn't get it to work properly. So I do need to play with it a little bit more so that I can do a lot more clutter. Because doing clutter without that is such a pain, and things are floating, and it just kind of a nightmare of a time. So I didn't do too much clutter. I wanted to keep this fairly simple. You know, it is meant to be an office that maybe mom or dad uses, but maybe they don't use it so much anymore. So, you know, it's kind of just, I wouldn't say like for show, because it is meant to be used. Like there's a little reading corner in the back there, and a desk, and we do put a computer on it later, but you know, more yeah, I guess that's the only word that comes to mind, like for show kind of thing. But now moving on to the bathroom. I personally, so while I was building this bathroom, I personally thought about the fact that the bathroom ends up being like an orange and blue color theme, which goes really well with the style of the house, but I was laughing at myself because blue and orange in specific is not a color I like. I really am not a fan of the color orange, and almost nothing I own or anything that I pick or gravitate to is not orange. However, orange is a very warm color, and so going with like orange and red and like, you know, warm, comfy colors that make up this kind of Spanish style home, blue is a complementary color to orange. And so it just kind of comes out looking really, really nice, I think, in my opinion, despite the fact that I don't really like that color scheme personally. But just a little bit of detailing in the bathroom with a few items here and there. Again, just kind of trying to keep it simple, not too over cluttered. When I do get that shelf working, I do plan on making some like cottage style builds, or maybe a messy home. I've been watching Hoarders recently. For those of you that don't know what that is, Hoarders is a show where they literally go in and try to help these people that have hoarded their home like into disgustingness. Like, I mean, just absolute filth. Like, they keep trash, they keep anything and everything that they get their hands on, and just they have mounds and piles of stuff. Now, I don't think that I'm gonna make a Sims 4 house like that because that would take way too much time, but maybe kind of channeling an inner messy sim that might have a lot more items, a lot more objects to kind of throw all over the place. But yeah, so we kind of finished the downstairs now at this point. I do kind of go through like with kind of like a first sweep, I guess is what I'm calling it, where I throw down a lot of the preliminary objects, furniture objects that I'm going to use to kind of get the layout and get the feel of the colors and things like that. And then at the very end, we go back in and we add some of those little detail-y pieces. Now, I haven't talked about something I struggled with in just a minute. So going on to the master bedroom is another place that I struggled. So At first I was going to try to do this lighter wood. However, picking a bed and sticking to items that have the same kind of color swatches, this is where I really had a hard time, because I kept finding things that I liked, but then, like, for example, I would move on to these nightstands and they don't have the same color swatch that matched the wood that I was using. And so trying to keep all the wood tones the same, and I know this is something that is not specific to myself. I know there's other people in the Sims 4 community that do struggle with the wood tone color swatches that don't ever match each other, it seems. But I end up going back to a dark wood theme and kind of making the walls a little bit darker, and just, again, continuing that Spanish theme. So the darker wood kind of brings up the decor from downstairs and ties in really nicely. And again, this room actually surprised me because I ended up going again with more of like an orange and blue theme. Which turns out really nice. It seems really cozy. And then of course the parents have that like balcony out the front of their bedroom so that they can go out there. I imagine like the mom would like to go out there and have tea in the morning, or, you know, on Sunday mornings they would go out there and sit and have a coffee or something. You know, that's something that I would want in my own house. I would absolutely love to have like a little balcony like that where I could go relax on weekend mornings when I'm not working, and kind of go out there and read a book or have a coffee or just kind of hang out. So I really liked that aspect of the master bedroom. And surprisingly enough, the upstairs bathroom is one of my favorite parts of the house. I didn't think I would say like one of the bathrooms was one of my favorites, but what I ended up doing, since I didn't use the lighter wood in the master bedroom, is when we move on to the teenage daughter's room, which is just across the hall, it's on the opposite side of the house, I thought that I would let the teenage daughter have more of her own style. So when we move into the teenage daughter's house, not her whole house, just her room. When we move into the daughter's room, it does get much lighter, different wood swatches and kind of a different feel to it. Obviously, it still seems to be along the same style because like the fixtures and things, like the light I use in there, and obviously the doors are still along the same theme and pattern as the whole house. But thinking like she would have picked a different bedspread, and she would have picked, you know, a different dresser and little things that kind of make it her own. So it does almost look like it kind of goes with the house, but it kind of doesn't. And that was why. That's on purpose. But I've jumped ahead of myself. We need to talk about the bathroom. So when I was doing the exterior of the house, and I did this little kind of like it's not a balcony, but it like sticks out from the house, you know, with these 3 windows. I at first thought that maybe I was gonna do like a little sitting area, like a little reading nook or something in a bedroom upstairs. But the way the layout of the house worked, this worked perfectly for a bathroom. So immediately when I saw that, I thought I have to put a tub there. How cool would it be to have a tub, you know, that has natural light coming in and there's plants all over, and just kind of give it that like tropical feel, I guess. Is that the right way to describe that? So I'm really happy with how the bathroom came out, because I love that little bathtub section. And of course they have a shower and a toilet and a sink, all the necessary things that you need in a bathroom. But I just love that kind of little nook for the tub. I think it turned out really, really nice. Moving on to the hallway, nothing too spectacular for the hallway, just a rug, a nightstand, and a plant, and a light, and that's really it. There's not much else we could fit in that little hallway, but I wanted to put something. Now we move on to the daughter's room. So I've jumped ahead of myself and kind of already told you the plan behind this, but I actually really like the daughter's room. This is a room I think I would completely have as my own room, because I love the color scheme of it. When I was looking at a reference picture for it, I was still looking at a Spanish style home, but it was much lighter. It had lots of oranges, lots of pinky colors, lots of yellow, and then some pops of like green with some plants and things like that. That's one thing that I really, really would like in The Sims, is I would like some more indoor plants. Being somebody that likes plants just in general in my own house, but also just thinking like, I think plants add such an amazing just pop of color, accent to whatever you're doing, as far as decor and things like that. Just such like a natural feel that I so wish we had more potted plants in the game, just of maybe some just super plain pots with lots of plants. I saw something today that said, why don't we have Monstera plants in Sims 4? And I completely agree. Monstera plants are super popular and very, very pretty. I would absolutely love to have them in the game. But anyway, I digress. I'll stop talking about plants so much. I just think that they would be an awesome addition to have some more plants. While we're finishing up the daughter's room here, I did want to let you guys know, if you have made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you so much. The Sims 4 is something I really, really enjoy playing, but it's still fairly new to the channel, so still trying to gain traction. So I so appreciate you guys if you did make it this far in the video, and if you are enjoying, do consider subscribing or leaving a like, because that stuff helps out more than you will know. However, that was not what I wanted to actually tell you. I wanted to let you guys know that with the new game pack coming out, that Dream Home Decorator, I mean, if there was ever a pack that was right up my alley, it's that one, right? Like, I love to build in The Sims, so I thought it would be a perfect time to start a little Let's Play series. So I'm going to put together a sim and kind of create a backstory for her. I've already started to think about a storyline for her to play out, and start a little Let's Play series. So that hopefully will be coming to the channel very, very soon, because on June 1st, I believe it is, so in about 5 days, 4 or 5 days, depending when this video goes live, that will be coming out, and I do hopefully plan to start a little Let's Play series. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. I hope it'll be something that you will be excited to see, because I'm excited to play. I've obviously been building in The Sims for a little while now again, but I want to get in and I want to actually play the game. Adding the likes and dislikes, and of course the gigs where you get to go to certain people's houses and remodel their homes, remodel their rooms, things like that. I think it's perfect. It's kind of the best of both worlds. So I am super excited for that. I'm also super excited because looking at the objects that are going to come in the game, I'm really excited for some of the things. Like, I saw some shoe clutter that I'm hopeful we get. I saw some detachable stovetops that don't come in like a whole object. You can put the stovetop on the countertops. And I don't remember if I saw confirmation on if they could be placed on any stovetop, or if it was, if they could be placed on any countertop, or if it was just that countertop that they came with. Either way, very, very cool that it's separate from the oven. So really, really excited to play with some of those new objects and things like that. But I really wanted to get a build out before that came out, because when the country kitchen kit came out, I mean, it probably took me like 3 weeks in order to get a video out. I'm just slow and I'm behind on everything. It's what happens when YouTube is my hobby and I work full time. My stupid work gets in the way of my fun. What else is new though? I'm sure that's the same for a lot of you guys. A lot of your lives, your work gets in the way of your fun. But yeah, so that is the plan. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, I have kind of an idea about what I want to do, but I'm just still kind of fleshing it out and making sure that I can fit it into my schedule so that I can do like a weekly thing, kind of like we're doing. If you're not new to the channel and you're familiar, we have a franchise zoo series happening on the channel right now with Planet Zoo, and that is Tolly Zoo, and that comes out every Friday. So kind of picking a day where the Sims Let's Play would come out each week, but just want to make sure that I can stick to that so you guys have something to look forward to. So now we are on the cluttering stage, and I say cluttering very loosely because, again, I don't do too much of it, just putting down some items here or there. Some of the items were hard to place because, unfortunately, you know, without that little shelf, they're kind of floating, but just some stuff to make it look a little more lived in, a little bit more, yeah, cluttered. There's not much else to say. So just adding some items here and there. I do add some items to the office space and then a couple more here to the kitchen. And then we call it a day. I mean, I honestly probably could have spent a lot more time cluttering. But however, this build, I actually did build this all in one sitting, which is very unusual for me. I built this all yesterday from start to finish. Normally I build for an hour here, an hour there, and it kind of takes me a week or two to finish something. It's kind of why I'm constantly behind. I just can't mentally focus on something for longer than a couple hours, and then I have to change what I'm doing to keep myself interested. Anyway, so I built this all in one sitting. I built this yesterday, but it already had taken me, I think, about a little over 4 hours to do this, because again, I spent a lot of time going through the menus because I'm not familiar with what items there are and things like that. So I didn't want this to be too long, and I didn't want to have to speed it up to like 4,000 times the speed just to make it into a 30-minute video. So I kind of cut myself off and said, you know what, that's enough. That's enough cluttering for now. That'll do, because I was happy with how it looked. So without anything else to say, I guess I don't have too much else for you. Again, I so appreciate you guys watching this video today. Like I mentioned before, The Sims 4 is something I'm having a blast with, but it is still new to the channel, so I'm gonna keep going with it because I'm having fun, and that's really really what I'm about. Is I just want to have fun and play video games and share that fun with you guys. So let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you have any suggestions or feedback or anything you want to let me know. I do go through all my comments and respond to as many as I possibly can, and I do read them all. So without drawing it out any further, I guess, I will talk at you guys in the next one, and I hope you guys enjoy the end cinematics and have a wonderful day wherever you are. Thanks. Bye.
Yo.